the next episode of Cento Leadership Table, I'm joined by Tom Cook, who's Executive Vice President for Sales, Marketing and Operations for Hanwha Vision America. And today's topic of conversation is around, again, at interview stage, how you would test the candidate's ability to deliver results and concrete outcomes. I guess really, I suppose, Tom, it's almost like Shark Tank. You've got to know your numbers in this situation.
Yeah, Brett, thank you for having me on. There are different type of interviews that we do, and I'm involved in all of them. I personally want to make sure that the people we hire are the correct people for the role. So Hanwha Vision has hired dramatic amount of people, and I've been involved in every one of those hirings. So it's very critical from a sales standpoint and a technical standpoint when we're hiring people and what we do to make sure they're the right candidate, because when you get a wrong candidate, you have to live with that and then figure out, how to move on, unfortunately.
Very costly. Yeah. So again, if you think about the interview process, I mean, has Hanwha Vision got a multi-stage interview process? I guess you have. How many stages do you normally have?
So typically, HR would qualify or at least find out a candidate. We at certain points we've used outside recruiters. They were extremely helpful. They knew the industry in North America mainly, and but again, that becomes very costly. So at the rate that we were hiring, we hired our own recruiter internally, and they will start qualifying candidates by posting jobs on LinkedIn, posting jobs on our website, and then bringing in candidates. But first and foremost, when we brought that change in, I had to train that person on what we were looking for, what type of style, what type of person, what qualifications that we look for from that standpoint.
I mean, I guess obviously if we focus on sort of salespeople, if you like, and we've both probably interviewed hundreds of salespeople over the years. There's many a time you speak to a salesperson and you say, right, okay, so what sort of numbers are you doing? And a lot of times people don't know their numbers, unfortunately. Or they start to go off on a tangent to say, well, it's not just the numbers I'm responsible for. I also get involved in a little bit of marketing. I've read on the website and that sort of thing. So in my experience, again, it's taking people back to those numbers and then testing them on those numbers to understand, do they actually know where their numbers are coming from? And are they the ones that are delivering them, or are they getting that because they're sitting behind a big brand? Did you find that in your experience?
So I've never met a sales guy in an interview or on a resume that shows me their sales have dropped or equal. It's always outstanding numbers, presidential levels, achievements, and all that. And so I feel many salespeople on paper and in person embellish their capabilities. So I am very cautious of the numbers that they give me, even though, if they don't know their numbers, then they're not a salesman at all, number one.
Exactly.
At the same time, it's almost asking someone, and I always tell my children this, if your friends tell you how much they're making, they're lying to you, because nobody's going to tell you that they're making less than what they're actually making. They're always going to embellish on their salaries because, they want to brag. So numbers are one piece of it. What I look for in a candidate, especially in sales, is turnover. If they're running 2 to 3 years on every job, they're basically getting in there and two things happen. One, the company realizes that they're not that good, or two, they're very antsy and they want the next best thing or next best product line or next best commission program or whatever. So if I see a person changing jobs rapidly, I won't even look at the candidate. And then on the other side, I look for improvements in a company. So many times, if a salesperson has been promoted to a senior salesperson or an area manager or director or whatever it may be, I know that that company has seen something in their capabilities and qualities, or they've just been successful in sales. And they're moving them to the next level. So those two indicators on both sides of the fence there can truly identify the quality of the person without even looking at numbers.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. And again, the other side for us when we're talking to salespeople is to understand where their numbers are coming from. So, especially if they're running a small team, if they've got 4 sort of
Sure.
regional guys, and they may be sitting with a £5 million budget, how much do they contribute to that budget as opposed to their sales team? Or are they order takers or order makers? Is effectively, again, what we ask.
Yeah, and again, we use the term here as hunters and farmers.
Yeah,
And again, we're looking for people that are going to open up opportunities that we've never seen or can't get in or penetrate. Whereas a farmer to us is someone that is a very good salesman or sales account manager that's going to
yeah,
manage an account, maybe open the wallet a little bigger, get sticky with a client and all that. And there's a need for that. And if we're looking for an account manager or key account manager to handle a big account like Amazon or Google or B of A, absolutely. But we really focus in our industry, in our Hanwha Vision, on hunters. And so we're identifying, okay, the first question I would ask is how do you create demand? Our philosophy is creating demand, getting to the guy who's in charge of the budget, the project, whatever, or the money. Could be a CFO, IT director, security director, loss prevention. Could be anyone out there. But you got to figure that out. So a lot of pointed questions to salespeople: are they hunters? And how do they hunt? And what do they do? Or do they even know? Somebody might ask me in an interview, well, how do you get leads? And I'm like, well, you're the one that creates those leads. Yeah, we always get leads from shows and websites and all that, but my salesperson should be creating his own leads.
absolutely. And again, are you looking for established salespeople, or are you also looking for the younger guy maybe that's coming up on an upward career trajectory? The guys they're on they're the rising star, so to speak,
Yeah,
and then moving to that next level.
it's a good question. I think most of the time I've always looked for people who are hungry,
Yeah,
people that maybe not as established, that are coming from maybe a smaller company and are looking to make their mark and get grow. A lot of people say hire a lot of young people that want to travel and run around and all that. And I was like, not really. I want a guy with a mortgage, 2 kids, and has to finance a lot of things on the back end. So I know he's hungry to make money.
yeah,
And if you have a good compensation program, they'll push themselves harder to make that extra money. So I look for that type of quality person. In a salesperson, maybe someone not as experienced, because some of those people have settled into their ways, and sometimes it's hard to train them on how you want them to work within your company.
yeah, exactly. And again, if you've got established salespeople that are sitting in a maybe a competitor and they've been there for 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they become a little bit stale.
Sure.
And maybe they've got a nice pipeline and they're very, very reluctant to move. So sometimes it's getting the balance between a salesperson that's too jumpy, if you like, that's moved around too much, and then a salesperson that's stuck in their existing role, is also a difficult choice.
Yeah,
A
and
good
and
CV
there's
and a bad
different
CV.
styles. Yeah,
Yeah,
companies have different styles. I will tell you, one of our biggest competitors, Axis Communication. I think their style and our style are different. Our partner, Milestone, a very good company, a VMS company. Their people, their salespeople have a different style, and it's maybe my style versus the senior VP at Milestone that is different, and we look for similar qualities in ourselves to follow that trait, which is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I know if I'm going to hire someone from that company, that it might not fit the group of people, and that's how we're looking at people now. We have 200 salespeople in North America, and we're starting to kind of find, we've found a style, and fitting the team all of a sudden becomes just as important on sales, so they fit in well and they work well with the other teammates.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the cultural side is really, really important.
Sure.
And from the operational side, obviously you've got a responsibility for operations as well. If you were looking for an operational person or an interview with an operational person, are you then looking for improvements in efficiency? and you're measuring then to go from X% to Y%. Do you adopt the same approach?
Yeah, it is a completely different look of what you're looking for within an operations team, and I do also manage marketing now, and
Yeah,
good and bad. So, but you're looking, when I look at marketing, I'm looking at more probably lesser qualified people that we can mold into what we're trying to do and use their the new technical digital marketing,
yeah,
SEOs, things that maybe an older person that's been doing marketing in print maybe years ago haven't converted over as well. I don't know. Website design, things like that. You're finding a younger generation that you're looking at. Operations, part of our key thing is obviously the experience in the systems that we run, whether it's Salesforce or something like that. We can't spend 6 months training someone with the lack of coming out of school or something like
yeah,
that with no knowledge. So we do need to look for more experience on process systems, whether that's Power BI, whether that's Salesforce, whether that's SAP. Depending on the position in operations, we have to have that experience. So we're definitely looking for that when it comes to operations. And again, do they fit the team? Is it the right person, personality wise, that we think is going to fit the team? We're looking for personal people because you're on the phone no matter what, any job
absolutely.
in our company.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's representing the company. Everyone's got an outside face, haven't they? So, and
Yes.
again, coming back to the marketing, the operational side, I think, more and more with the technology that's involved, we're all looking for that digital native, aren't we? Someone that just instantly absorbs this technology and is able to use it, which brings us then on to probably the last question for today is the AI aspect. And where do you see that going?
Especially in marketing. So, example, today we were probably doing SEO or paid SEOs with Google searching and all
Yeah,
that. And, my director of marketing and myself have directed the team really to stop going that path and start moving into a Copilot or ChatGPT searches and paid advertising on those forums. Because 2 years ago, if I sat in a room, I might have one person that might have used ChatGPT. And now if I ask people who's used ChatGPT just to search or ask questions or whatever, it's probably 19 out of 20.
yeah,
So it's converted that much in 2 years. And I'm asking my marketing people, what are the services that people are using that we want to be present on and advertising on and showing our banners or whatever. So I think it's changed dramatically with AI sites and AI search engines that we all have to be on instead of the traditional ones. And
yeah,
you're even seeing your Microsoft go to Copilot and different things happening very rapidly. And who's going to win that? We have to be on all until we figure out where's the dominant source of getting your name out in front of people.
yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to change dramatically over the next few
Yeah.
years, very, very quickly. So,
Yeah. It's hard to stay up with it. Yes.
absolutely. Anyway, Tom, I really do appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining me today. And I'm sure it'll be of interest to all the people that are listening.
Yes. I look forward to that. And thank you for having me on, Brett.